You are not Feklar. But I am.
Hello, welcome to Star Trek Sodium. This week I've dug up a whole bunch of facts all about the Next Generation mid-season episode, Devil's Due, whereby a devil character has been terrorising a planet and the Enterprise has come along to help. And now on to the facts that you didn't even know. Now you've heard the popular phrase, has a bee in her bonnet, but I bet you didn't hear it before 1991, no matter what. That's because Gates McSomething had been at a special summer retreat with her scoundrels to a wonderful California meadow full of flowers where the wind blew floral scents and the air was abuzz with nature. Wearing a bonnet, possibly gifted to her by Rick Berman 2 years earlier as an incentive to rejoin the show once that Dr. Pulaski had been sacked, she wore the bonnet as often as she could in the summer months, not realising that the sweet honeysuckle binding had attracted 2 crucid bees to it, which became lodged in its stitching. Reaching up to pat the hat to check if it was still soft, the actress touched one of the bee's subtle stingers, which caused her to scream, leading to her being ejected from the meadow retreat and running back to the studio, crying. Rick Berman should have known that titling the episode Devil's Due would have had consequences for the religious amongst the cast. As a staunch Catholic, Lever Burton was outraged by the idea of a character from his favourite book being trivialised in a science fiction story of all places. Rick Berman was forced to write a special apology document for Lever, exerting that he didn't mean to disrespect the young Christian Catholic. Rick Berman should have known that titling the episode Devil's Due would have consequences for the religious amongst the cast. As an alleged Jehovah's Witness, Marina Citrus was outraged that the devil was being made into a character in Star Trek, and she firmly believed that this would manifest the pure evil of the devil into the real world. Rick Berman felt forced to explain to the young bird enthusiast that no actual devil would arise from the depths of hell just because they were making a television show. Rick Berman should have known that titling the episode Devil's Due would have consequences for the religious amongst the cast. As an active pagan, Fraker took offence to the inclusion of the symbol of anti-Christian law in one of his beloved Star Trek episodes. Feeling that his leaping over the fires at the summer solstice rituals had been trivialised, Fraker put in a complaint to Rick Berman. Rick was forced to publish an apology to the bearded actor, which has since been lost to the sands of time. Taking the apology with a pinch of salt, Fraker just ignored Berman for the remainder of the production. Casting for the role of the antagonist for this episode was famously the longest in Star Trek history, taking even longer than the hotly contested casting of Deanna Troi, which took 18 months. Looking for the right actor to play Ardra began 4 weeks before they even began filming the episode, if that gives you any idea as to how arduous the task was. Actors who auditioned for the role of Ardra include the Groppler Zorn actress Michael Douglas, future Star Trek legendary First Officer Chakotay, who would find no luck here when he was informed that even though he might be a commander one day, he commanded no screen presence here. Future social media star and Pokemon card scammer Logan Paul, Barry Chuckle, Shaker Hoskins, And finally, Martha Dubois, who at the time of recording these facts remains completely dead. Rick Berman should have known that titling the episode Devil's Due would have consequences for the religious amongst the cast. As a practicing Satanist, the bald actor was delighted to have his deity represented in his own show. After all, it was about time that Satanism earned a spotlight in Hollywood. Hopeful that the show's distribution would spread the satanic rites of the devil to the world, he thanked Rick Berman by reportedly buying him a fancy dinner at some restaurant or other. The Wesley person was taking a break from college and wanted to visit the Star Trek studio for the production of Devil's Due. Worried that the young actor would get scared at the horrific image of the Klingon devil Feklir, Gates McSomething cared too much for the buttery young actor and so ordered him to stay away, possibly telling him that if he shows his greasy face at the studio, she'd slap him stupid. Rick Berman should have known that titling the episode Devil's Due would have consequences for the religious amongst the cast. The data robot actor, Spiner, as a young Jewish man, was possibly shocked at the episode's title being The Devil's Due. Perhaps a title that could be misconstrued as meaning the devil is a Jew. To rectify the Hensing situation, Rick Berman invited Spiner to his house for dinner, where he allegedly drunkenly persuaded the pale actor that the spelling of Jew was completely innocent. Now, those of you with eagle eyes would have noticed the obvious, that the chairs used in the arbitration scene were reused in the Addams Family movie. What's even more preposterous is that the character of Ardra isn't in the Addams Family movie at all, no matter how hard you look. You could spend a fortnight watching the Addams Family movie on repeat, and you'd still not see her in the film, no matter what. Things reached boiling point during the production of Devil's Due when they needed a Klingon makeup for the character of Feklir, the Klingon devil. Unfortunately, they didn't have time to put together a new headpiece, but fortunately, Star Trek VI was being made just meters away on a different stage in the room. The actor playing the devil simply went over and picked up one of the foreheads from a table and went over to Michael Westmore, who helpfully attached it onto his head. Unfortunately, the headpiece he picked up belonged to David Warner, who was playing Chancellor Gorkon, which led to a pathetic fistfight between the actors. Thanks ever so much for checking out my fantastic facts all about the Devil's Due, which, as you can imagine, is a terribly scary episode. Thanks for checking out my facts. Like the video if you liked it, comment it if you comment it, and subscribe if you subscribed, and I'll see you next time. All the best. Ta-ta, binge fellow.